And we are live. Welcome to Teachers Zdenek YouTube channel. And today I'm talking to Irena. Hi, Irena. How are you?
Hi, Zdenek. I'm pretty good. How are you?
Not bad, not bad. Irena, the Achievers Chamber member, I just want to remind everyone if you guys are interested in featuring in these live English lessons, you have to be an Achievers Chamber member. But today we are going to do it a little bit differently because Irena is an English teacher. So I'm not going to be writing any kind of feedback for her. And instead, we're going to take a different approach. Irena is very passionate about birds. It's one of her um, interests, birds, right? Painting and birds,
Painting
the
and
two main,
birds and stuff, yeah. And
yeah,
languages.
and languages. So three main sort of passions. But I chose birds because it always fascinates me. For I don't know why. We have already talked about this on the next English podcast. If you guys want to hear more from Irena after this live show, then check out the next English podcast episode. I can't remember the number, but just type in Irena Birds, the next English podcast, and you should be able to find it. Um, so what's going to happen today, Irena, is that I've prepared 8 idioms for us,
Okay.
and I'll be asking you questions about
hmm
birds, which might appear a bit random.
Okay.
And in my usual traditional style, after I hear out your response, because I let you respond, and then I will throw in a sort of comment using that idiom, and then we can explain it and explore it further. Yeah, how does
So,
that sound?
sounds good. Sounds good.
Hmm.
Let's go.
Okay, lovely. I would also like to ask our viewers who are watching us live right now if they can hear Irena well, because for me you're not that loud, so I can hear you, but I wonder what the experience is for our viewers. So please let us know in the comments. And as well as that, hi, hi Helen, by the way. As well as that, I would love to encourage you guys watching us live to post any comments if you want to respond in any way to what we are saying. If you want to practice the language or the idioms that we will be using, go ahead and do that in the super chat, like Helen did. Okay, so you ready to rumble?
Okay, let's go. Let's give it a try.
Okay. So I'm gonna just be asking you a lot of questions about birds. Let's start with some generic questions. So why birds? Why birds, Irena?
Why birds? Because they're graceful. I don't know. They are interesting. They're kind of mysterious, and they fly away. So I don't know. I don't really know. It's just pretty instinctive, I would say,
Hmm.
on my part,
Okay, lovely.
to be
Uh,
fascinated by them. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And what's your favorite bird?
Kind of changes, but I would say
This year, what has been your favorite bird in 2023?
so far blue tits.
Blue tits. Okay, that
Yeah.
sounds a bit rude. That sounds a bit rude, Irena. Yeah,
Well, that's the actual name, so I can't really help it. Whatever kind of
I
image it can bring, it can bring to someone's mind. I guess that's what
no.
it
The
is.
thing is,
No.
the
Yeah.
word tit doesn't
Yeah.
only mean that bird species that you are talking about.
Obviously,
It
obviously
also
not.
means
Yeah.
something else. I'm not going to be explaining it here because that's not
Mhm.
what this live show is about. But you guys are interested, you can Google it or ask Chat GPT or something like that. Um, yeah. So, if you were to be a bird, if you had a chance to be a bird, what bird would you like to be, and why?
Mm, that's a good question. Mm,
A penguin or kiwi or?
Penguins can fly, and kiwis can't either, as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned, as far as I know. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um,
But they're cute.
there's one bird which really fascinates me, but whose name I basically always make a mix up. Um, because in English it's called either, I think it's Fisher King, honestly, but sometimes I get it mixed up and I say Kingfisher. But I think it should be. But I'd
Kingfisher.
better
I think it's
check it. Yeah, because I'm just never
I
quite
think it's
sure.
a
Yeah,
I think it's a
I've checked it
kingfisher,
so many
Irena.
times and I still get
Is
it wrong. You know.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's a kingfisher because
It is Kingfisher. Yeah,
it's a
it is
fisher,
King.
right? It's
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
fisher. It's a fisherman. It's not a king, you know.
yeah. Obvious. Yeah, it's King. It's a
Yeah,
Kingfisher. Yeah.
yeah, kingfisher. Right. That's the one that like that
And
name. This bird has such a name because it's really good at hunting fish, right?
very agile as well. I love it for its plumage as well, for its movements, for its
Hmm.
quickness,
You,
the way of reacting to different stimuli, I guess, to different
yeah.
you know,
You
things
use a
around it
very
and so on. So
okay. So you used a very interesting word, plumage, which sort of fascinates me in itself because this is the spelling.
yeah.
There is a really, really, really bad sound coming through now, Irena. I don't know what's happening. It's like that sound that we used to have when we had the first
Oh,
internet, and
mm-hmm.
you were trying to connect through ADSL. If you remember that,
Okay, hold on. Let
it's
me
better
just
now. It's gone.
maybe
It's
try
gone.
something. Yeah.
It's gone. Oh, it's back
Okay.
again. It's back again. No, it's gone now.
Back
It's
again.
gone now.
Oh,
No, it's
okay.
occasionally is there. Yeah, but never mind. Let's just roll with it. Okay,
Okay.
plumage. Luke would be an eagle. Lucas from the Achievers Chamber. He says he would be an eagle because he likes to eat meat. So he would be. What do you call those birds, Irena, that hunt other birds or animals?
Mm. Well, birds of prey in general,
Ex-
I would say,
Exactly. Birds of
and then you
birds
have
of prey.
you have carnivores. You could say as well. Like
Yeah, but
this,
specifically
these
bird.
are these are not just birds, but obviously
Yeah,
any kind of animal that basically hunts other
yeah. But I meant
animals.
I meant birds of prey, as
Mm,
you've just said.
mm,
So birds of prey. So
yeah,
you would be a bird of any bird of prey, or specifically eagle. It looks like Lucas is very fond of eagles. Eagles are also known for their sharp vision, as far as I know. Right?
they are. Yeah.
Okay. Right. So that
I
was
think you
just
can
like
say eagle's eye as well, as far as I'm
eagle eyes.
concerned.
Yeah,
Eagle.
eagle eyes. I'm gonna check it, but I think it's eagle eyes.
Someone
Um,
who's
yeah,
who
eagle
has a
eyes.
sharp
Hmm.
vision. I don't know, is very observant and so on.
Yeah.
Mm,
If you have an eagle eye, yeah, that's the expression, to have an eagle eye
I-
or an eagle eye, then you have really, really good vision, really good eyesight. You see things maybe that other people don't see. Okay. Um,
So
raptors.
I would like to be a kingfisher with an eagle eye, basically. Yeah.
You would be a mutant. Um,
Yeah.
can different bird species have babies together, like dogs? I don't think so, right? Like
There's some known
little.
cases, but actually it leads to basically, even if you, let's say, have in one generation you have to do different, or not really different, to similar species, I would say. It
Mm.
actually leads to basically being, you know, um, the next generation cannot have any, you know,
So it's genetics. Basically, we're talking about
uh,
genetics here, ladies and gentlemen. It's a very, very difficult to understand. It's just chromosomes X, Y, and all that. and evolution. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Helen also says raptors. Yeah, raptors. She's right. Raptors. It's another word for birds of prey. She's correct. Okay, so this was just a warm up, Irena. Yeah. So now let's get into those idioms. Okay. So my first idiom related question for you, which you don't know yet
Mhm.
because it's gonna be kind of secret until I respond. It's the approach that I take when I do the vocabulary booster event, which is an event that I host in the Achievers Chamber, and that's where we practice not only idioms but any vocabulary that people bring in, and basically they have a chance they have a chance to use, and I like to do it in this kind of way. So let's go. What's the best time of the day to practice bird watching, which is something you are so keen on, right?
You'd better be an early bird.
Oh, you spoiled it. I was supposed to say it. All right, you did it. Fine. I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. You better be an early bird. Well, how come? You have to explain yourself now.
Because when you go bird watching or when you go bird ringing, which is what I do, we can. I don't know if you want to go into detail with that, but basically when you do, you get actually the biggest number of birds to watch, to observe, or to catch really early in the morning.
Okay.
So
I mean,
it's
fair
actually a really good idea to wake up early.
fair
Yeah,
enough. You know why this would be hard for me, Irena? You know why?
because you're a night owl. Um,
Exactly, because I'm a night owl. So, you know what? It actually doesn't matter. Let's be flexible here. Irena, guess the idiom, so we can play it as a game too. It's fine. So, but now we have to explain these two terms. So, um, a night. No, let's just explain a night owl because I've got a kind of an extended idiom version of the other one. So let's go for
exactly.
yeah. You know what I mean, I'm sure.
I
So,
know
but
what
let's
you mean. Yeah.
yeah let's wait with that, but let's go into explaining the night owl, so or a night owl. So what does that mean if you are a night owl, Irena?
So basically, you prefer, I guess, working at night. In general, I would say even functioning at night, and
Good.
you're not very fond of getting up early, waking up early, getting up early,
Exactly.
unless you really have to. But it's not really your nature, I would say. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, so my next question for you, Irena, is imagine you're outside walking in the countryside. I bet this is something you like doing. I don't know, maybe you're
Mhm.
hiking. So I wonder, like, do you do this kind of activity on your own? Do you prefer going solo, or would you go with someone else, especially when it comes to practicing bird watching?
Mm, in terms of hiking, I went solo actually. um,
Really?
Many
Really?
times in the past. But when it comes to bird watching specifically, I think I would like to have a good guide with me.
Okay. So, but what if you went solo and then maybe you would meet several people along the
Hmm.
way? Would you be
Okay.
able to tell? Would you be able to tell without actually talking to those people? Would you be able to tell that that
Hmm.
person is a bird watcher just from the way they look look at you, or look at look at the things
I
around
think I
them?
would. Yeah, I think I would.
Mm, mm, mm. So maybe
The
yeah, go on.
the first sign would be that this person is actually silent, not talking, not listening to loud music, no,
Mm,
and
mm.
basically watching around, walking very carefully, with trying not to make any noise and so on. So yeah, there are many subtle signs, I would say.
Okay, okay, that makes a lot of sense, and it's possible that maybe you could even sort of go to similar places. Like
Hmm.
it wouldn't be an accident. It would look like a coincidence that another
Hmm.
bird watcher is in the same place, but perhaps not, because birds of feather flock together, right? And you might
Exactly.
you might just go to the same place without even realizing it.
Exactly. Well, you would go off the beaten track first of all. Like if there are, a couple of paths where you would expect people, to see people, for example, jogging or something, you would definitely go like deeper into the woods, for example, where you could find
Mhm.
some birds. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the idiom Adam mentioned here when he joined,
Uh,
and this is one of the idioms from my list as well. So, birds of feather flock together is an expression you can use to describe a group of people who share the same interests, and they, as a result of having similar interests, they often form groups. Yeah, so I guess
mhm.
this could happen to you if you were to meet someone like that, and then you could say, "Oh, birds of feather flock together," right?
Yeah, but it always happens when I go to bird ringing camp, and then we
Hmm.
have I guess we have a in common, especially this passion. So it's
Okay, okay, fair enough.
of like in that
Um,
way.
yeah, I think I've just checked because I wasn't sure. It should be birds of a feather flock together.
Hmm.
Birds of a feather, not the feather, as Adam said. And yeah, it's birds of a feather flock together. I don't know why, but I always thought it was without a, but apparently not. So yeah, with these idioms, if you want to get it right, you really have to check all those little words like
Details.
prepositions,
So,
articles. It's not always easy, yeah. So, birds of a feather flock together. Right. Next. Um. Okay. So, let's say you go in a team, but you don't specify when exactly you're going to meet. You just go to a similar area. A lot of people like you are going to be there with their binoculars or whatnot. And
hmm.
so, does it really matter? Like when you arrive, is it really better to be there earlier than others? Does that pay off?
Mm,
You know what I mean? Like, is it possible that if your let's say mates arrive before you, they sort of steal the show. They take the best photos, or they see the best birds, and then when if you are late, if you arrive late, doesn't
hmm.
that mean that it's possible that the birds are kind of gone?
Well, that would be probably my concern. Yeah, I don't mind others taking photos as long as I
Yeah.
can see something as well.
Yeah. You know what? Like,
So but I think when you go, with a couple of people who are really into it and are not doing it, in quotation marks, I would say just for fun or just once in a while. These people usually behave in a similar way. I mean, they try to be like really careful, not to make noise, not to approach the birds too closely, and so on. So
hmm.
in that case, I wouldn't be too concerned either. So it really
so
depends.
so in this case, an early bird catches the worm doesn't apply. It doesn't matter if you arrive late of it. It doesn't it
Not
doesn't mean that you're
not
you're not going.
always in this case. No, no.
Hmm. Okay, so this is a nice idiom. An early bird catches the worm. So this means that you will have an advantage if you do something immediately or before other people do it. It's better to do it before other people do it. So that's why it's better to wake up earlier and arrive earlier as well. So, but no, maybe not in this particular case. Okay, but
It
that's
do- it
that's.
does yeah, it does always apply with bird ringing, as I said. Like
Mm,
you have a chance to see the biggest number of birds. Usually like really early in the morning. So
mm, mm, mm. Okay. Well, all right. So, Irena, a little birdie told me that you have a boyfriend. So, my
mhm.
question is your boyfriend into bird watching? Do you do this together? Do you go
No,
bird
not
watching together?
not really. But he's willing to go with me to bird ringing camp just to see why it interests me so much. Yeah,
Okay, he's sort of curious. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Well, I use the expression "a little birdie told me," or "little bird told me." Also possible. A little bird or little birdie told me. Do you know what that means, Irena?
It's like you hear it basically. It kind the way I understand it, at least, it could kind of imply gossip, like someone tells you, or
Eh,
um,
it's kind
I
of like
think I've
that.
heard it. I've heard it many times without actually
Mm.
checking what it means. Kind of
It's it's
taking
it's
it,
quite
you
it,
know.
it it's quite interesting. If you check the definition, it
Hmm.
says that it's a phrase used when one does not want to reveal the source of the information that one is
All right.
about to
Yeah,
share or has
makes
shared. So I
makes
just
sense. Yeah.
I just don't
Hmm.
want to say who told me this. I know this, but I don't want to
Hmm.
tell you exactly who told me this. Maybe to protect that person.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Or protect my source. That sounds like I have spies working for me, but no, it was just yeah. Anyway,
Confidential information source. Okay.
yeah, exactly. Okay, Irena, you know that I have in the past I have created English through board games course, and
Hmm.
then I have been dabbling in English through football. And you have a really interesting niche interest. So I was just wondering, how would it work if you were to create English through birds course or something?
Hmm.
Would that work?
Maybe for bird watchers. I honestly have no idea.
Okay. And do you think you would be organized enough to pull it off, such a course?
Um, I would like to think so. I'm not really sure about it though.
And
Yeah.
you know what? I think if you manage to get your ducks in a row,
Hmm.
you'll be fine.
Okay.
It's a funny little idiom. To get your
Yeah,
duck
it is.
in a
Yeah.
row, meaning to have to get organized or to have everything organized. Yeah, to get your ducks in a row. Okay, right. My next question for you, Irena, is well, do you know what? This is course. It's that these days there are courses on anything, right? At some point, I actually was wondering if I should create a course, learn English through Chat GPT. Then one person that I'm going to name here talked me out of it. Anyway, my point being that I think there are courses on almost anything these days. So maybe such a course already exists, English through birds. We just need to Google it. Do you think we
Maybe I just need to Google it. I don't know.
do you think we should look online to see if we find a course like that?
I would say there are definitely many newsletters in English about birds. So if someone likes to use it in order to improve their English, it's fine. It's absolutely possible. As to googling this kind of course, yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to do it. I've never thought about it.
Irena,
I don't know if it exists. I have
can you please
actually no idea. Yeah.
can you please like shake your headphones or something? It's the sound is back. Whatever.
Okay.
Just try to yes, just try to do something. Okay, it's gone. Perfect. It worked. It's
Okay.
a good,
Sorry.
great method, ladies and gentlemen. I've just come up with it. Never, I don't know, nobody has ever told me that this is what you should do, but just shake your headphones and it works. You get rid of the sound. Now it's back. Anyway,
Okay. I'll do it again. Okay.
it works. Yeah, it's gone. So, uh, do you think you would succeed in finding such course? Then you think you would succeed?
I would say it's very unlikely, but
Yeah,
maybe.
I agree with you. I agree with you. It would be a wild goose chase, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah, like would be like looking for a needle in a haystack. That was an extra idiom that I didn't intend to use, but I couldn't help it. But a wild goose chase, a wild goose chase. So, how likely is it to catch a wild goose, Irena?
Very unlikely as well.
Exactly. So it's usually some kind of foolish or hopeless
Mhm.
pursuit of something unattainable. You search for
Oh.
something that is it's going to be a waste of time for you because it's just
Mhm.
pointless, you know. It doesn't it doesn't have much high chance of succeeding basically.
Unless you basically are trying to catch a wild goose, and this wild goose happens to be a very weak or injured individual. But I mean, other than that, it's really
I would
high,
not ex-
high,
I would
highly
I would not
unlikely. I would say.
I would not expect this from you, Irena, especially because when I was putting together this list of idioms,
Yeah.
I deliberately avoided the idiom to kill two birds with one stone because I know that you could disconnect, rage quit. You could rage quit if I ever use that idiom in our live show because I know you hate that idiom because I know you think it's morbid. However, now you are doing the same thing. So you
No,
it's
I'm
I'm
just
shocked.
saying. I'm
I'm
just talking
shocked.
about like facts.
You're talking about injured birds. I'm shocked. I'm shocked.
Yeah. I mean,
Beyond
injured birds unfortunately do exist. Yeah, it's not my favorite idiom. I can confirm. Yeah.
I know it
Yeah.
isn't. I know it isn't. That's why it's not in the list. And the
Mm.
only reason I just mentioned it is because of this little incident. Hi, Ahmed.
Mhm.
Hi, Ahmed. Good to have you here. We're talking about birds and explaining a few idioms in the process. So I hope you guys enjoy it. We've got two more questions for Irena, two more birds related questions. And question number 7, Irena, is bird watching a good activity for both men and women? Would you say it's more suitable for either of these two groups?
It's suitable for everyone. Absolutely for everyone.
So essentially, what you are saying is what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
As well. Yeah.
That is such a funny idiom, this one. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Now, you have to explain this to us, Irena, though. Like, it's some people might be wondering what on
Mhm.
earth I'm talking about here. Do you know? Do you know this?
I've never heard it actually. So I think you all need to explain it to me.
That's okay. So,
Actually. Uh,
but no, do you know what a gander is?
no, I don't.
Okay, so a gander is a male goose. Okay,
Okay. Mhm.
so I think I'm not 100% sure, but I think if you say goose, like obviously you can refer to the species, right? To the
Yeah, but you mean a female goose
but
probably in this case.
most
Mm.
exactly most people probably imagine a female. I'm not sure 100%, but if you say a
Mhm.
gander,
Mhm.
definitely a male. Like you have certain animals, I don't know what like a horse, like horse is like
Mhm.
neutral, right? But then you have a mare, which is like
Mhm.
female horse, right? And now I forgot the male. There's a male one as well. Steed, is it steed? I think so, right? No, no, that's a horse being ridden. There's a, I'm sorry, I forgot that one, but there's a word for a male horse for sure. Anyway, my point is that gander is a male goose. So
Okay. Mhm.
what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Um, Meaning, if it's good for a female, it's also good for a male. So it's what's okay for a man is okay for a woman too. Okay. Right. Irena, this is going to be the last question. Yeah, we might keep it a little bit shorter today. Why not? Um, unless we have questions from our viewers. Yes, that's exactly the one I meant.
Stallion. Stallion. Yeah,
Stallion. Yeah, it just
exactly. Yeah.
disappeared from my head for some reason. Thank you, Lucas, for reminding me for reminding us of this wonderful word. Stallion. Yes. Um, that's a male horse. Correct. Now, like I said, this is the last question for Irena. And I just want to ask you, ironically, I'm going to ask you about the fact that this is the last question, if that's okay with you.
Go ahead.
Are you happy that this life about birds is coming to an end? Is it going to be a
Mm,
relief for you, or is it more like, oh, it's a shame there are no more questions? Zdenek, can
well,
you?
I'm actually having fun, so I'm actually
Okay,
having a good time. Yeah.
thank God for that. That was the purpose. I hope it's the same for our viewers. But I'm so happy that you are. That didn't start very well. No, I'm delighted. I'm absolutely delighted, Irena, that you are as happy as a lark.
As happy as a lark. Yeah.
I'm delighted. I wanted to say I'm happy, but then the follow-up wouldn't work very well. I'm happy that
Hmm.
you are happy as a lark. So I went for delighted instead, which is a wonderful, strong adjective. Everyone, if you want to sound more fancy or fancier, just go for delighted. I'm absolutely delighted if you want to emphasize it. Okay, so I am glad. It's another one. I'm glad that you've been enjoying this. I mean, I don't have any more aces up my sleeve, unfortunately. I would have to improvise, which is okay. But well, maybe if there's something you want to tell us, or something you think I should ask you about that I haven't so far, or anything you would like to share with
Um,
us.
I think it would be just a good idea to explain since I've mentioned it a couple of times. Yeah, bird ringing. So maybe for some viewers it's not very clear. Probably.
Okay,
I mean,
can I guess?
unless
Can I guess what it is? Okay, so bird ringing, ladies and gentlemen, is if you if you really feel like having a phone call with a bird, you pick up your phone and you ring them, and that's why it's called bird ringing. Is this correct, Irena?
well, not exactly.
Damn it! But was it
Damn it.
close?
I know.
Was it close?
Um, you were correct about using the word ring, but it's actually not exactly this meaning. When uh,
Oh,
when we talk, so people can wear a ring, and birds can wear a ring as well. Which
what?
obviously it's
When
not.
they get do they get married or something? Or
No, it's just a scientific experiment. It's basically part
so,
of
so
scientific research. So
hang on,
you
hang
can.
on, hang on, hang on, hang on. Are you telling me that scientists are trying to see if birds want to get married? It's nonsense. It's not how it works in nature. What are they
Ring,
on about?
rings are used for different purposes. So you can actually encode some information on a ring, on a bird ring.
Oh, you mean like
So
Lord in the Lord of the Rings, like when Frodo used the ring to disappear from a birthday party. You mean something like that, or the one ring to rule them all, the ring to corrupt someone and to in order to destroy the world or something. That kind of ring.
it's a ring that basically um, you prepare these rings in advance. Each ringing station has their own basically a number of rings where exactly the name of the ringing station is written, date, and then you put it on a specific bird, and you write down somewhere the species that was caught, what was what the ring number was and
Yeah.
some other information to keep track of these birds, specifically of their migration routes. So
So
that's
it's
for scientific reasons,
I
basically.
get it. So it's a ring for
Uh,
collecting data on birds.
exactly.
It's like a
So,
ring which you use to spy on birds, basically, to find out more about them because they're kind of sneaky. It's not easy to track them because they can fly, right? So they can get anywhere that humans usually can't get. I mean, they can, but it would be rather expensive to use a balloon, or I don't know what you would use.
yeah, birds are not very willing to share information on their own. So you somehow have to be, smart and
Yeah,
kind of
but Irene,
force
hang on a minute.
forcing them to do it. So,
I know for a fact, I know for a fact because I have seen it with my own eyes that there
hmm
are birds out there
hmm
that can talk and they are goddamn good at it, like
parrots.
parrot, yeah,
hmm
or budgies or something like that. For
hmm
example, I've got one friend whose nickname is Budgie, but that's that's from a different sort of show. It's from the football show. Anyway, um, where was I?
Mm, some birds can talk, and you have
Oh
a
yeah,
friend
yeah.
who his nickname is
No, no, no. What
Baji.
was I talking?
So I would assume that this person likes talking a lot. It's very talkative. I don't know.
No, no. I wanted to say something else. That the birds talk. Oh, you said that the birds are not. I was kind of trying to object to what you said because you said birds don't want to share much, and I said, well, that I'm sort of playing
Mm,
devil's advocate here because
I
that
know, I
makes
know.
no sense. But birds can talk, right? If you can
Birds
talk,
can,
then yeah.
well, let's say birds can talk, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they are willing to cooperate or share information. Share information,
I've heard birds that can swear as well, like use
Mm,
dirty words and stuff like that. So if they're angry, I mean, they could just tell
they
you
can,
something
probably, yeah. But
inappropriate and not nice. And
but I would say that's not the data scientists collect most likely.
okay, then okay. So they use rings for that. So Helen says, precious, my
Super
proud rings. Yeah.
spring. Um,
Okay, then. Well, thank you very much for shedding some light on this interesting topic, specifically bird ringing. And now I know that bird ringing does not, it's not about calling birds on their mobile phone, but instead, or rather, it is a method used by scientists to collect data about birds, specifically about their migration habits. Okay, well, we learn something new every day.
Thank you for having me on
Yeah,
the show.
you're very welcome. You're very welcome. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope our viewers did as well. Let us know in the comments as always. Even if you didn't catch this live, that's okay. That's okay. In this case, an early bird catches the worm does not apply because you can actually watch the video again. You can actually watch it as many times as you want. I don't know why you would do that. You would have to be really a bit
I think it
insane.
does. I think it does apply to people who love leaving comments. Because it kind
Hmm.
of makes sense to leave comments during the live when you can when any of us can respond to them
Yeah, but
later on. Well,
don't say that. Don't say that, Irena, because I need to encourage my viewership, my the
okay,
viewers. I need to encourage them to leave comments after the show as well. Because
as
if
well.
they do
Sure.
that, it's gonna help this YouTube channel. It's little birdie told me that. So don't tell them this. Yeah. Uh, Unfortunately, this is how this
Sure.
stupid YouTube algorithm works. And if you don't do this, you are done. Yeah, and we don't want that here on this channel. So that's why. Anyway, guys, if you like what we have done here, please give us a like. It's another thing you unfortunately have to do to push to help you to push that algorithm in our favor. So yeah. Um, Helen promises to watch it 10 times just to listen back to your jokes, Irena. So yeah, and reviews and great explanations. Well, thank you very much, Helen. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you. So that's all. That's where we will leave it. And if any of you guys are interested in talking to me, Irena, or any people that often appear, Irena is kind of a exception to be honest with you. She's not a regular, but we wanted to try today, and I'm glad we did it. But normally it's someone else. And if you guys want to talk to us, not like this, because this can be stressful for some people, and I totally get it. It is stressful for me too. After a live show, I can't do anything for like 5 hours. I have to go out and just meditate, and it's just so stressed. So if you prefer doing all this, if you prefer talking to us in a slightly, let's say, less stressful conditions, then join the Achievers Chamber. uh, you will find the instructions in the description of this video. Thank you very much for watching, and bird watching and all that. And yeah, take care.
Thank you, guys. Thank you,
And don't
everyone, for watching. Cool.
and, and don't forget to give a ring to some birds as well. Okay. That actually made sense.
Do, can I just quickly ask you something? Sorry, do you see many birds when you go out? Like in Vietnam?
Yeah, a lot.
Quite a few, yeah.
Quite a few, yeah. I have to say. But this is interesting, because this word has become a bit like inappropriate, or let's say politically incorrect. Some people associate it with like toxic masculinity. So I think,
Hmm.
for example, in the UK, they don't like to use this word anymore. But I like the word too. A bird meaning woman, right? Is that what you meant? Or do you actually mean a bird, a real
Oh,
bird?
I actually meant real birds.
Oh, damn it!
Oh, sorry to disappoint you, but
No,
yeah.
they're not that many. You see, I don't see that many birds here. Actually, that's funny.
Mhm.
There are some birds here, of course, but not as many. Let's say there are no seagulls here, because like in the UK, that's where I used
Mhm.
to live, you would have a lot of seagulls everywhere, flying left, right, and center, and not just seagulls, but other birds too. But here, I don't see them much. To be honest with you, I don't know what's going on. The world
Okay.
might end soon, ladies and gentlemen. That's what's going on. Sorry to end on such a downer. Anyway, we have to go now. Yeah, we have already said goodbye. But thank you, Stanislav. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm glad it has been useful. And yeah, I guess we can now all die in peace. I mean, when I say die, it's a metaphor for leaving this life. Yeah. So actually, please stay alive. Yeah, stay alive. All right. See you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye, Irena.